I've listened to Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter for 6 months.
And I listened to it once yesterday.
Welcome to Spin It. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Spin It, the Record Ranking Podcast for people who'd rather be listening to music. I'm James, and with me, tall and sour, it's Connor.
I'm definitely tall. I'll let you decide how sour I am about this album.
Yeah, well, this is an exciting one. Short and Sweet was up for the Album of the Year Grammy.
It was.
And it didn't win. And we talked about, revisiting some of the runners-up. And I gave you an option. I think I gave you a few different choices to pick from. And this is the one that you hand-selected out of that batch. The one you were most curious about or excited for or whatever it was. So hopefully you're less sour about Short and Sweet than you would have been about some of the other picks. But who knows?
Maybe.
Do you know any Sabrina Carpenter songs?
Just songs from this album.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Espresso? Did Espresso cross paths with you?
Oh, absolutely.
It was the flowers of this past summer.
Yep.
It was everywhere.
I think it was, the summer anthem.
Yeah. Did you get a taste of taste?
I did get a taste of taste. I had more than a taste. I might have had a whole meal out of it.
I had a meal of taste.
I might have had a taste of taste and went back for seconds.
Whoa, that's exciting. Did please you?
I was pleased.
That's 6 times in a row. I said please. Goodness. That's good. Sounds like this album is in your good graces. I don't think you probably heard that.
Juno also crossed the barrier.
Juno. So, do you know Juno?
Oh, and Bedchem also.
Bedchem?
Fantastic. Well, I think that's it.
Well, that's a pretty significant number of songs. I mean, this album's only been out for half a year.
It's a pretty significant album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for that many songs to break into Connor World, that should be telling.
Connor World's a strange and fantastical place.
No doubt. Yeah, I've been kind of thinking about a Sabrina Carpenter episode ever since we did Olivia Rodrigo back in like the 50s.
Wow.
I know.
It's a long time to think.
It is. Well, because she had that rivalry with Sabrina Carpenter, right? They kind of went back and forth about that boy that Olivia wrote Driver's License about.
Oh, yep.
And so I was like, oh, maybe we could do a Sabrina Carpenter episode and let people pick sides.
One of those classic young female artist feuds over a boy that I feel like happens all the time.
Oh, all because she liked a boy. Yeah, I did listen to Emails I Can't Send well before Short and Sweet was even out, because I was thinking about that episode and it just didn't feel right, and I'm glad I waited. I'll tell you that much.
You see, that just goes to show that, slow and steady gets the taste.
Slow and steady for Short and Sweet.
You had Slim Pickins.
I did.
Before, and now we're in Sabrina Carpenter's good graces.
Nice. You could say, I'm the sharpest tool in the shed.
Yeah, and I'm dumb and poetic.
Well, halfway.
Hey.
I didn't say which half.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not dumb.
Yeah, the difference between Emails I Can't Send and Short and Sweet is vast. And I don't know, it's exciting. I mean, this was like her breakout album. I mean, we could talk about it once we get into it. I mean, she was nominated for Best New Artist at the Grammys. And Short and Sweet, I mean, it's her 6th album, and she's been making music for a decade, and she's still up for Best New Artist.
Wow.
That's pretty wild. It gives me hope that one day we'll be the best new podcast.
Let's say, yeah, it makes me think I might be Best New Connor.
Best New Connor?
Yeah.
2.5 decades in. Maybe it's time.
2.5 decades in. Maybe every year at Con, I get nominated, and I hope I'm going to win, but I always get beat out.
By one of the newer Connors, a newer model.
Yeah. Or, sometimes they give it to, like, a Connor that, got snubbed for it too many times in a row. And so even though he didn't do his best work that year, they gave it to him anyways.
Oh, like the Leonardo DiCaprio thing?
Well, that was the joke I was making. Yes, thanks for just spelling it out.
I just wanted to be clear. It was a pretty obscure joke, so I wanted to make sure the audience got it. I had to spoon feed it to them.
You don't trust our audience?
Well, I do. I don't trust your joke telling.
That's fair. Can't argue with that one.
Nope. Well, yeah. Not the best new artist, but close. She probably was the best new Sabrina when she was born.
I'm sure her parents thought so.
Probably. It'd be kind of wild to think your child was not the best new whatever.
Unless they were looking at the baby through the window, where all the babies are kept, like in the baby farm.
The baby farm? The nursery?
Yeah, they just line up all the babies and you stare at them like it's a baby zoo through the window.
That's true. And all the new parents are out there and you're like, which one's yours? And they just kind of point in a direction. You go, oh, cute.
Yeah. Uh-huh. But what if their Sabrina got put right next to another baby named Sabrina, and they looked at it and was like, oh no, we should have gotten that Sabrina.
This one's too short, but she's sweet.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe they got Sabrina envy. Maybe they didn't even name her Sabrina until they saw the other Sabrina and were like, whoa.
Dude, you always wonder about that. Like, I know they like put like tags on the baby so that they don't get them mixed up, but you always gotta wonder, what if some sort of switch happened? It's happened, you know. There's a non-zero chance.
No.
There was a baby swap.
I think there's pretty much a 0 chance.
It's low, but it's never 0.
Wow. Well, you got me there. If indeed we are talking about Sabrina Carpenter in this episode, she was born...
Yeah, assuming we have the real Sabrina Carpenter.
Assuming this isn't an imposter or a baby swap situation, switched at birth. This Sabrina Carpenter was born in Quakerville, Pennsylvania, 1999.
Well, either way, that part would have to be true, right? Because that's how this baby swap couldn't really happen if the real Sabrina Carpenter was born like in Russia.
Well, it depends on how far they went for the swap.
Dude, somebody's losing their job if they accidentally swap a U.S. baby with a Russian baby.
Yeah, that seems like a problem in small town Pennsylvania. Yeah. Well, as she was being raised by her birth parents or her unknowingly adopted parents, she was homeschooled.
Wow, a homeschooler.
Yeah, it's nice. The bus rides are really short, but the cafeteria is terrible.
So, not much different from regular school then.
Depends on how close you live.
Yeah. Yeah, my problem with homeschooling was that, you know, my parents somehow always knew if I had homework or not. I couldn't lie and get away with it.
Couldn't sneak it past.
Yeah.
But no permission slips for the field trips.
No, still had to do this.
Whoa.
Sometimes they still said no.
I just wanted you to know that it was on the table. That's funny.
Yeah, Dad was like, hey, go ask Mom for permission to take you to the zoo. And Mom was like, absolutely not.
And then he went to the zoo without you?
Yeah.
Dang.
It's like, sorry, got to take the rest of the class.
Woof.
You get to stay and do a packet while watching a movie.
Been there.
We're going to go churn butter at the Historical Society. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Sabrina Carpenter, probably. And she was a big music lover while she was being homeschooled. That's what we were talking about.
Surprising no one.
No, very easy to be a lover of music. But she would make YouTube covers. Even way back at the age of 10, she would cover popular songs by artists like Christina Aguilera and Adele. We did a whole episode on Adele. Episode 143.
We sure did.
Good stuff. Well, Sabrina's family, if they were indeed her family, were very supportive. They even built her a home studio to record and like hone her craft, which is really cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Sabrina also came in 3rd place in a contest called the Next Miley Cyrus Project, which Miley herself was in charge of. I don't know much about that, but that's interesting, isn't it?
That is wild.
She's maybe the best Sabrina, but the 4th best Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, apparently.
That's pretty cool. But she also would follow in Miley's footsteps pretty closely. In a very key way, her career began on television. Her first notable acting gig came in the form of a part in an episode of Law & Order SVU. We talked about that on our theme song episode.
Uh-huh.
I forget how the theme song fared, but it got a few rounds in, I'm pretty sure.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, because it was such an iconic theme.
Dun, dun, dun. I've actually seen that episode of Law & Order SVU.
Really? You've seen the Sabrina Carpenter debut?
Uh-huh. I've seen a lot of Law & Order SVU, actually.
I believe that. It seems like an easy show to watch a lot of and not care about.
Exactly. It's the perfect show to just put on and then clean your house or work on whatever and just kind of mildly be paying attention to it. And then every once in a while they'll have one of those really good episodes. Like there are some of those episodes that are like, for anybody who's really into like TV, they're TV much watches, right? They're like some of like iconic television episodes across all genres.
Wow.
Like, they have some really good ones. But for the most part, it's just put it on and let it go.
I've never seen any episodes. Maybe I should go look up the Sabrina Carpenter one. Or a different one. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions. But that was her first gig.
Wow.
She also appeared a few times on the Fox sitcom The Goodwin Games, and then she voiced a character on the Disney kids show Sophia the First. But her big break as an actress came just 4 short years later.
When she was nominated for Best New Actress.
Best New Actress 4 short years after her acting career began. Yeah. She landed a major supporting role in Disney's show Girl Meets World, which is a spin-off / sequel series to the very popular show Boy Meets World, which aired from 1993 to 2000. Do you know Boy Meets World?
Yeah.
Okay, I figured you would. I know a little bit about it. I've seen a few episodes of it. Girl Meets World, I was aware of, actually, when it came out. It's probably the first time I ever heard of Sabrina Carpenter as a non-Law & Order watcher. And at that point in my life, and most points in my life, a non-Radio Disney music listener. But yeah, no, the sequel series, Girl Meets World, launched in 2013, and it ran for 72 episodes over the next 4 years. And because of all that, because of that big Disney stardom bump, it's probably not too surprising to learn that her first major musical projects were of the Radio Disney variety, because she did songs for her shows, right? For Sophia the First, for Girl Meets World. She featured in Disney Channel original movie soundtracks, other promos, which is cool. But her first single that wasn't like tied to other media, though, or like made for a show or a movie, it was called Can't Blame a Girl for Trying.
I mean, you can. But...
You can blame a girl for trying, but should you? Who knows? She co-wrote it with All About That Bass Megan Trainor.
Wow.
And it came out ahead of her debut EP in early 2014. Again, 2014. And her Best New Artist nomination was in 2025. Wild.
I just sent you something in Discord.
Oh my gosh. She looks like a totally different person.
Well, she's like 7.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm just saying, she looks like a totally different person. Suspicious.
Oh, I see.
Switched at Law & Order.
There's a side-by-side.
Minimal resemblance. Sabrina's first proper LP, that is, long playing record, was called Eyes Wide Open. It charted at number 43 on the Billboard 200. It moved 12,000 units in its first week. Then came Evolution, which debuted at number 28. She was also landing some big hits with singles like Thumbs and Why, and some Christmas song covers. In 2017, Sabrina Carpenter even opened for Ariana Grande on some international tour dates during her Dangerous Woman tour.
Wow.
We did a whole episode on Ariana too. 109. It's been a long time. By 2019, Sabrina would put out her next 2 records, Singular Act 1 and Singular Act 2. She was taking on really big tours. She also continued to appear on stage and screen, including on Broadway as a part of Mean Girls. She was the lead in the Netflix original movie Work It, and she was in the Disney Plus original film Clouds. So she's doing a lot, and it's going great. But she does kind of hit sort of a ceiling, I think. Just in like her fame and popularity and what she's known for. Kind of just hits a ceiling, stalls out. That is, until like 2021. That's when I kind of start to pinpoint the major surge in Sabrina Carpenter popularity. That's when she signed with Universal's Island Records and put out her 5th studio album, the one we already talked about a little bit, Emails I Can't Send. It got some biggies, some big hits in there. Her standalone single Skin, that preceded the album by a little bit, it made it not only onto the American Billboard Hot 100, but it also hit number 33 on the Billboard Global 200. It was her very first time landing a track on the global charts. And then from Emails, we got songs like Skinny Dipping and Fast Times and Vicious and Nonsense. All good songs. All songs that you should probably know if you like this album. I would say those are the highlights for me from Emails, which is cool. And then, of course, there's Because I Like the Boy, which, again, people thought was her response about that little feud with Olivia Rodrigo. She wrote Because I Like the Boy, and everyone went, oh my gosh, feud. And so that boosts her popularity a lot, too. Just the way that people talk about her. People just ate it up. You know, the drama.
Well, yeah, the drama, the media frenzy. It's just like the Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez stuff, and just in general.
Who's Justin General? I've heard of Justin Bieber. Who's this other Justin?
They were switched at birth.
Oh, right, of course. And his parents were like, baby, 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 no.
I hate this.
Anyway. Yeah, people love the drama. Emails went to number 23 on the Billboard 200, sold 18,000 units in his first week, which is great. Compare that to the 12,000 she sold before. 18,000 is, a 33% uptick. That's huge. Her tour was giant. She was on New Year's Rockin' Eve. She got into some music video controversy for her song Feathers. I'm sure you saw about that somewhere. She filmed it in a church, and then everyone got mad.
I don't remember that.
Oh, well, it happened.
I'll be honest. I don't think I really knew anything about Sabrina Carpenter prior to this past summer.
Wow. Interesting. Well, this past summer, again, her fame still grew. She opened for Taylor Swift on a big chunk of the legs of her Eras tour, and it's pretty much just the perfect storm for her next project to absolutely blow up. And that next project started to take shape in the form of a single on April 11th, 2024. That little single There's a song called Espresso. Obviously, took the world by storm. If you're listening to this episode and you don't think you've heard Espresso, you have.
You have.
Probably, anyway. Espresso was enormous. It topped the Global 200.
Mm-hmm.
It went to number 3 on the Hot 100 in the US. It was her first top 10 single over here. It was also a chart topper in 20 other countries. So, I mean, it was an international success. It was the MTV Video Music Award winner for Song of the Year. It would go on to be the second most streamed song on Spotify for the entire year of 2024, with more than 1.6 billion streams. And it came out in April. I mean, there were a few months even before it, and it still ended up to be huge. 1.6 billion streams.
It's a lot of streams.
It is. I know a guy who ended in Spotify Wrapped in the top 0.5% of listeners to Espresso. Shout out to you if you're listening. The top 0.5%.
That's nuts.
It worked out so that he streamed it like once a day, every day, after like the first 30 days it was out for the rest of the year. Like that's how many times he streamed it. Anyway, wild. Espresso is already like less than a year later, certified platinum or better in 14 countries. Diamond in France. And as we now know well, it was Grammy nominated for Record of the Year, which it lost to Kendrick.
Yep.
And Best Pop Solo Performance, which it won. So, big hit.
Big.
The second single to come out ahead of her 6th album, Short and Sweet, was Please, Please, Please. It also topped the Global 200 and then became her first #1 single in the United States as well. It also made her the very first female artist to maintain the #1 and #2 positions on the UK charts for 3 straight weeks. And another UK record, she was the first artist in more than 70 years to top the UK singles charts for 20 weeks out of a calendar year.
Wow.
That's wild.
That is wild. It's impressive.
Espressive. I don't know. I wanted there to be a joke in there, and there kind of wasn't, but kind of was.
Impresso.
Impresso. That's it. You're right. You found it. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, people are loving the singles. And when Short and Sweet finally came out on August 23rd, 2024, they love that too. Those old albums were moving, 18,000 units in their first week, right? Child's Play. Short and Sweet multiplied that 20-fold. It sold 362,000 units in week 1, and then 159,000 in week 2, 117,000 in week 3. I mean, that's incredible. That's 20 times more than she was doing with her first couple albums. Every single song, all 12 of them, made it to the top 50 of the Billboard Hot 100. One of those songs was the third single, Taste, which went to #2 on the Hot 100 and made Sabrina Carpenter the first artist since the Beatles to have their first 3 top 5 US hits in the same week.
That's cool.
It is cool, right? You'd never guess.
I mean, with enough guesses, maybe.
Well, with an infinite number of monkeys and an infinite number of typewriters, one of them would eventually guess it.
Sounds like it's not unguessable then.
Yeah, touche.
Tushy.
It's a good album. It's a cool album because it is very poppy, super poppy, but it's also got a good blend of like genre influences in it. So it's not ever like one note. It's not ever boring with its pop music, even though a lot of it is top 40 leaning. She recorded and mixed Short and Sweet at 8 studios around the world, from New York City to Nashville to Los Angeles to Portland to the Bahamas to France. A lot of places. She started teasing the album with billboards and social media ads in early 2024. Kind of reminds me of Lord's billboard scavenger hunt that didn't really happen.
Yeah, it's a cool concept. Somebody should do it.
Well, they really leaned into the title of the album and its multiple meanings when they were promoting the album. She's got a sweet personality, but Sabrina Carpenter is physically shorter. She's 5 foot, 5 feet to be exact. And it's also an allusion to like her past relationships. They were sweet in their time, but they were pretty short. She gets into more specifics, into more ways that relationships and things were both sweet and very not sweet once we get into these lyrics in these tracks. And it's not a particularly long album either. It is short in length, and it sounds pretty sweet. So there's a lot of layers to the title Short and Sweet. I kind of like it. I like it a heck of a lot better than Emails I Can't Send, which has to be one of the worst titled albums I've ever heard.
I mean, in the right context, that's an okay title, but yeah, it's pretty rough.
It's rough. It's kind of long. It's kind of clunky, and it doesn't really make immediate sense. Like, emails you can't send? Who are you emailing? Doesn't make sense.
The hospital.
Why can't you send an email to the hospital? Like, what's the deal? Where's my kid? This one's not right. You switched them. You switched the samples.
Oh.
Well, dang. Critics loved Short and Sweet's little TikTok pop sound. That's what they called it. They loved the genre diversity. They also liked her lyrical transparency, her sincerity, her playfulness. Pretty widely regarded as one of the top albums of the year. It was Sabrina's first #1 album in the US, of course, and it stayed at #1 for 3 straight weeks, which made it the second longest #1 record of the year, behind Taylor Swift in the Tortured Poets department. And again, like its singles, Short and Sweet has been certified platinum already. It earned certification in September. It came out in August, and it was platinum certified by September. 1 month, 1 million units sold. And again, it did earn her 2 Grammys on 6 nominations. Her very first Grammy wins. She performed at the Grammys, brought the house down. And also, little trivia tidbit from later on down the road, she just put out a deluxe version of Short and Sweet on Valentine's Day, 2025. It has 4 new songs, and then it's got a version of Please, Please, Please that features Dolly Parton, which is wild. Like, what a get.
That is a good get.
Short and Sweet is a heck of a breakthrough album for Sabrina Carpenter, and that's pretty much where we're at, right? It's a fairly recent album, so there's not a lot of her career left after it to talk about yet. She's launching a second leg of the Short and Sweet tour soon, by the way, with Olivia Dean opening for her. We just did her in episode 188, our Valentine's Day episode. I'm so tempted to try and go to this show and see Sabrina Carpenter, but also Olivia Dean. What a double package.
That's a pretty cool package.
I know.
My neighbor, when he sees a package sitting in front of my door that he could steal.
Pretty cool package. Maybe I'll take this. Oh, and of course, Sabrina did her Nonsense Christmas special on Netflix. Did you watch that?
I didn't watch it, but I saw a ton of promotion for it.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of promotion for it. I saw her singing something with Chappell Roan. I saw a little bit of it.
I forget what I was watching at the time, but every ad break, and it came up. It was like, watch this. Coming soon.
And you still didn't.
No.
You're a disgrace to advertisers everywhere.
That just goes to show you, advertisers, it doesn't work, so stop doing it, please.
I think that's not true. The number of ridiculous things you've bought from way more subtle advertisements is exactly antithetical to that.
Yeah, I want my advertisements subtle. I'll be honest, the more times I see something, the less likely I am to buy it, I think. So there's a difference between like just scrolling social media and then coming across a post for a really cool thing and trying to be like engaged in watching something on television, and then every 10 minutes, hey, check out Sabrina Carpenter's new special. It's like, oh my gosh.
I think you're seeing commercials that don't exist. She's not a monster truck rally.
No, but honestly, if the commercial went more like that, I might have tuned in.
I feel like, yeah, that would have worked. Would have worked on me. That's a no-nonsense Christmas.
Maybe I should be an advertiser.
You could be, but that'd be your one gimmick. Just do that.
All advertisements turned into just monster truck rally style.
Friday, listen to Spin It.
Yep, or like the super enthusiastic salesman, like, this Friday, blowout sale, get on down to the Connor's Emporium, just like those over the top.
Not bad. I think it could work. So you didn't see the Nonsense Christmas. That's okay.
No, I did not, no.
Well, bummer. Next year. Or I guess anytime. It's on Netflix. You could probably watch it right now in March. Well, as for other awards and accolades she's got besides all this year's Grammys, she has 9 Billboard Music Award nominations, 2 BMI Pop Awards, a Brit Award on 3 nominations. She's got many, many pending iHeartRadio Music Awards that she could win this year. 9, to be exact, including Artist of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Music Video.
It's a lot.
It is indeed a lot. She's also got some MTV awards, a Nickelodeon's Kid Choice Award.
Is that the one where they slime you?
Nickelodeon, yeah, that's the slimy one.
Sabrina Carpenter got slimed.
I don't know if she got slimed or not.
They said she won. Don't they slime all the winners?
They don't slime everyone that wins.
They don't? What's the point then?
I don't think they do. Well, then it's not a surprise if they slime everyone.
I just kind of assumed, having never watched the Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Award.
Not even when you were a kid that could choose?
No.
Dang.
The way in my head, if you tell me Nickelodeon award ceremony where people might get slimed, all the nominees are standing there, and then they announce the winner via dropping slime on the one who won.
Oh, they just slam one of them with slime?
Yeah, that feels like the way to go, but it's just me.
Honestly, good idea.
Novice advertiser me. That's how I'd do it.
Yeah, no, I don't think she got slimed. But yeah, definitely much more to come in terms of awards from her career. Stay tuned. But that's what I got. I think that is it for me. And now it is time to play some Fact or Spin. Let me ask you something. Do you think that it's possible? Like, what if you and the Mixtaper had been switched at birth? Do you think your life would be any different?
Oh, I would have grown up wearing a mask.
That's true. Otherwise, probably pretty similar. Well, let's get him on out here and play some Fact or Spin. See what Carpenter facts he's crafted for us.
Here's the Mixtaper.
Good deal.
Hey, it's me, the Mixtaper.
Hello, Mixtaper. Welcome back to the show. How you feeling this week?
I've actually been hard at work.
Hard at work? What have you been doing?
Writing a song for Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, really? That's exciting. How's it go? What's it about? You're a supervillain. You're writing a song called Bad Chem?
No. I'm writing a song called Pumpkin Spice Latte.
Oh.
I think it could be next summer's big coffee-related Sabrina Carpenter hit.
Well, that's it. Espresso's a good song for the spring and summer. Pumpkin Spice Latte could be the next fall espresso.
Yeah.
I think you're really onto something.
Actually, a new Starbucks location just opened up right down the road from Connor and I's apartments. So, I'm actually transferring to that location.
Oh, good. The commute will be shorter.
Yeah, much shorter. I don't have to drive 3 hours to get to work every day.
Oh, is that what you've been doing?
Isn't that what everybody does?
Some do. Ish. Not really.
Isn't that, I thought the rule was like you're supposed to spend like 10% of your day sleeping, 25% of your day driving, 25% of your day working. I don't know how the math works out there, but we're gonna abandon this bit because I don't want to worry about math and jump right into our facts.
Let's just jump right into facts. That's a good idea. She's got a quarter century of a life lived, so that's a quarter century of facts or spins we can learn about her.
We'll start here. She had a really fun cameo.
A cameo, huh?
Or guest role, I guess. She had a really fun guest role.
Guest role, cameo, potato.
Let's say, what makes something a cameo versus a guest role?
I guess it depends on the notoriety of the person.
Oh, okay.
Like what she does in Law and Order probably is a guest role because she's just there for the one episode. But like if she were to be in Law and Order now, it'd be like, oh, Sabrina Carpenter. Boom.
Be a cameo?
Yeah, it'd be like a cameo because she's more famous. I think it depends on the external notoriety of the person.
Sure.
So what does she cameo or guest in?
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons. Everybody's been a guest on The Simpsons at this point. Well, what does she do? Does she voice a character or is it like a cameo like she's herself? I guess that's also a difference.
No. Oh, that's true. She was a character.
She's a character. I would call that a cameo too. Maybe. Well, what's her character do?
How familiar are you with The Simpsons?
I've seen the first 12 seasons and the movie.
Oh, wow.
More modern Simpsons, not so much, but yeah.
She voices Bart Simpson's, I guess all the kids' long-lost aunt.
Aunt?
Yes. So there's like, the Patty and Selma.
Uh-huh.
The two like aunts, Marge's sisters or whatever.
Yeah.
There's an episode where there's supposedly a long lost sister. And that character, I say supposedly because it comes to find out that it's not actually a long lost sister.
It never is.
It never really is. But yeah, she voices that character.
But she's so young. And Patty and Selma are so old.
Yeah, well, yes, there's that. And there's another one that I think that makes it funnier. And two, there's another reason that they cast her specifically for that role.
Okay. What is it?
Oh, you want to know?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Okay. Well, Sabrina Carpenter's real life aunt is the voice of Bart Simpson, Nancy Cartwright.
Nancy Cartwright is Sabrina Carpenter's real life aunt?
Indeed.
So they did like a role reversal so that she got to be her aunt's aunt.
Correct.
Man, that's like being an aunt that's a people person. An aunt's aunt. That's really cool. I don't know, man. Nancy Cartwright. She's an incredible voice actress. Like, and what a role of a lifetime to land Bart Simpson and all the other characters that she is. Tough. This is so hard. I don't know. I've never heard of this. I have no idea if this is true.
That's kind of the idea.
So what kind of voice does she do? Does she do like the Patty and Selma, like Chainsmoker voice?
I haven't seen the episode.
Yeah, go figure. Okay.
I actually really haven't seen any of this. I've seen the movie and I've seen like random episodes on like when I'm in a hotel or whatever. Never really been a Simpsons watcher.
Wow, you're missing out. The early seasons are great.
And I've seen like clips of it and stuff. I played the Simpsons video game.
Oh, Hit and Run?
No, the one that's like based on the movie.
Oh, wow. Okay. When did this cameo happen? When's the episode from?
2021.
I think I'm going to say this one is a spin. It's tempting to say fact.
Her character's name is Bridget, by the way.
Nice. Everyone's cameoed in The Simpsons. Like season 12-ish, 13 is when they start having guests on just to have guests on. Like Aerosmith just plays themselves and they come to Springfield for no reason. Like there's just stuff like that. And since then, I mean, they've continued on the tradition of having guests in cameo roles or as themselves. And I don't know. That doesn't seem super implausible to me. But I also, just her aunt being Nancy Cartwright is... It's either got to be true or it's a bridge too far in the lie. So I'm going to call it a spin.
Oh, sorry. Apparently that character's name is pronounced Beer Gut.
Oh, Okay.
It
Well,
was spelled Burgett.
it's not going to change my spin, I think. But good to know. Maybe if it's true, I'll go find that episode after I find the Law & Order episode. We'll just do a Sabrina Carpenter marathon.
There you go.
And then we got to watch all of Girl Meets World in the middle. Ugh.
I can confirm that the character of Beer Gut was indeed not voiced by Olivia. Or what? Not voiced by Sabrina Carpenter.
That's good. It's not voiced by Olivia Rodrigo. That doesn't matter now. But you're saying it's a spin then.
It is indeed a spin.
Okay. Ooh, a relief.
It is indeed a spin. Beer Gut is a second grade student at Springfield Elementary School. She has pale blonde hair and wears a light gray beret and is one of Elizabeth Hoover's students and appears in the video game The Simpsons Virtual Springfield. So I knew it was safe. That there was no way it could be a character. I purposely made sure I didn't pick a character's name that you'd be like, I know that character.
Yeah.
It's not who you say it is.
That's smart.
There is no long lost sister.
Well, they did a long lost brother for Homer. I mean, The Simpsons have done everything.
Yeah. Sabrina Carpenter hasn't been on The Simpsons at all, but she is related to Nancy Cartwright. That is her aunt.
Oh, the one thing that I said was definitely not true is the one thing that is true. Go figure.
Yeah. Apparently I should have just made that the fact that was the aunt, but I felt that was too plain.
I mean, fair enough.
So I was like, let's make it more interesting.
Well, now we know it. It is now knowable to all of us.
You know what's not knowable to Sabrina Carpenter?
What's that? This could go anywhere.
What McDonald's tastes like.
Uh-oh. Are you saying she's never had McDonald's?
She has never eaten McDonald's. That is your next fact.
Wow. What about, like, Prince? Has she smelled it? A lot of McDonald's facts lately.
I'm sure she's smelled it.
She's probably smelled McDonald's. So she's never eaten there, huh?
Nope.
Why not? How? How not? How is that a thing that you can avoid unless you live in Iceland with Kaleo, and there are none?
Well, it helps having a chef father.
Oh, chef dad. Yeah.
Yeah, chef dad. Not a lot of fast food.
He probably wouldn't touch McDonald's with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
With a 10-foot golden arch. Her dad's a chef. Wow. I don't know if I knew that. Honestly, would be really funny if her dad was a carpenter. Just saying. Maybe her other dad is a carpenter. Like the real one. And then she got switched.
Oh, yeah, she got switched.
And Sabrina Chef is out there working with wood. Well, what's her dad cook? Like, does he work in a restaurant somewhere?
I'm sorry, I didn't deep dive into Sabrina Carpenter's chef dad. That's not where I thought your line of questioning would go.
Oh, well, I just assumed that was like the real fact behind the McDonald's thing.
No, she hasn't eaten McDonald's is the real fact. Hang on.
But what about when she, like, moved out?
Sabrina Carpenter chef dad. Find out.
Let's find out.
Oh, what? That doesn't... What? All right, here we go. David John Carpenter, born December 20... He has his own fandom page, by the way, due to his connection to Sabrina Carpenter.
Fandom page. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
I'm a fan of David Carpenter. David John Carpenter, born December 23rd, 1961.
David John, quote, chef dad Carpenter.
It's the father of Sabrina, Sarah Shannon, and Kayla Carpenter, and the husband of Elizabeth Carpenter. He became a chef when Sabrina was 6 years old.
Well, so that's 5 years she could have had McDonald's.
And currently works for an X-ray servicing company.
Oh.
He also claims to have been in a garage band.
Wow, that's not chef work at all. He's a chef that works with microwaves.
His sister is Nancy Cartwright, a voice actress and comedian known for her role as Bart Simpson.
What a family. So her dad's an X-ray tech who cooks.
Maybe he cooks using X-ray waves.
How does she know that she's never eaten McDonald's? Like when you were 3, no one ever drove through and gave you a chicken McNugget? Like,
if you can't remember it, did it really happen?
yes.
Getting all philosophical on you. But like in spirit...
So what stops her now? I mean, other than the fact that who cares? But like, why not? Isn't she curious?
She just doesn't care for fast food, doesn't eat a lot of fast food.
She's too busy with fast times to have fast food.
She's interested in.
Yeah, okay. I'll buy this. I appreciate your work looking into Chef Dad Carpenter.
You're welcome.
And I think it's a really weird fact. I don't know. You've talked about McDonald's a lot lately. Like Prince liked to smell McDonald's.
Yeah, keeps coming up.
I don't know. Would you lie about McDonald's again in such close proximity to it? I don't know.
I didn't lie the first time, did I?
No, well, that's what I mean. Like, would you make up a lie so close to telling a truth about McDonald's? And I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
So I think this is probably also a fact.
Okay, fair enough. This is also a true fact.
Oh,
Never had McDonald's.
wow.
Unless You believe the rumors.
The rumors? I mean, isn't this the rumor? I mean, us playing Factor Spin is a lot of rumors.
Yeah.
What are the allegations? Unless you believe the allegations.
We need the Spin It mystery department to open a new case file, you know?
Yeah, is there evidence that she's maybe eaten McDonald's?
Well, as of 2023, fans speculate that she may have tried McDonald's for the first time to celebrate a significant achievement, but it's never been officially confirmed.
What are we speculating about? Do we have nothing better to do?
I don't know.
Suspicious. A car that looks like Sabrina Carpenter's car spotted in a McDonald's drive-thru. On the day that she's celebrating this achievement, what could this mean? Does anyone care? Does anybody care?
I bet you Chef Dad cares.
Probably.
X-Ray Dad cares.
That's why she's got to keep it a secret. He'll be so disappointed.
Dude, he'll X-ray her stomach and find out.
Find the McDonald's. She'll come home and he'll be like, "Get in the machine." Let me take a look. Is this a Big Mac? That's a sesame seed bun with special sauce. I know it when I see it. Because that's how X-ray machines work.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Sabrina Chef makes good tables.
I'd buy a table made by somebody called Sabrina Chef.
Yeah, right? A 25-year-old Russian carpenter switched it for her.
Oh, gosh. She once secretly competed in a professional ballroom dance competition.
Dang. She's secretly eating McDonald's, secretly ballroom dancing.
A lot of mystery going on.
I guess. Mystery and intrigue.
A lot of intrigue.
So why does she secretly compete in this competition?
Oh, she didn't want to be recognized as Sabrina Carpenter.
Sure. Well, how do you secretly compete in a competition when you look like the person that you are?
You enter under an alias.
What was her alias?
Sabrina Lynn.
No, her middle name is Ann Lynn, all one word, which is interesting.
So that's probably where that came from then.
Probably. But like, does she disguise herself at all, physically, or just by name?
Well, she dyed her hair brunette.
Whoa.
And, you know, she wore like elaborate dance costumes, which kind of helped her blend in a little.
Okay.
But mainly just the hair thing.
And she competed in the competition. Why ballroom dance? And why does she compete? Is there a prize? Like, what's at stake?
Well, she's really into dancing, actually. She's like professionally trained in dance. How much have you watched like her music videos?
Not a ton. I mean, I've seen Espresso and the one with Jenna Ortega, and
supposedly her music videos are pretty well known for having like intricate dance numbers in them because she's like trained in it.
Yeah, I could believe that.
But yeah, she trained for months with a private instructor, which again, this is where it gets weird. She had a private instructor in a secret dance studio in Burbank where they practiced the Argentine tango, the Viennese waltz, and the cha-cha.
Okay, so she really honed in on these three dances for months.
Yeah, and then entered the California Open Dance Sport Championships, like the regional rounds, to try to get to the championships, I mean.
Yeah. Did she win? How'd she do?
She made it all the way to the semifinals. She advanced to the semifinals, but then lost.
Oh, no. Do we know who beat her?
I do not have that information.
Oh, fair enough. Tricky. I'm going to call this one a spin. I don't think it's true.
Ooh, going with spin.
A secret ballroom competition sounds really cool. Sounds really fun.
Well, to be fair, real fast, the dance competition wasn't secret. It wasn't a secret dance competition.
No.
It was secret entry into a well-known dance competition.
Right. Did anybody catch on that it was her? I guess, when was this? Was it after she was famous?
So yes. I mean, why else would she be disguising herself? Imagine, like, not even famous yet, just like, I gotta disguise myself so X-Ray Dad doesn't find me.
Yeah. Dude, he can see right through your lies.
But after the fact, she fessed up to it in an interview, and since then, people have gone back and like been like, "Oh my God, that's Sabrina Carpenter!"
Like Dancing with the Stars, but you don't know the stars are there.
Dancing, oh, dude. What if they did a show like Dancing with the Somewhat Famous? And it was like a bunch of people that like you recognize. You're like, I recognize you, but I don't know from what. Like they were in like some famous thing at some point, and they're just barely on that tip of like in the public, you know, knowledge versus obscurity. You know, and like that's half the fun is trying to figure out who these people are. It's like I recognize that guy. What's he from?
No, I kind of like the concept of like the Masked Singer, but just dance.
I think that's a thing, isn't it?
Probably. But then, like, some of them aren't celebrities. I'm sticking with spin.
Oh, yeah, sure. This is a true spin.
Spinning around the ballroom floor.
Spin. Yeah. Yeah. She is a trained dancer. That part was real.
Okay. Just this Cinderella story.
She has taken ballroom dance lessons and incorporated them into her music videos and live performances, but never actually competed in any competitions or secretly entered anything.
Dang.
Made that part up.
That was a clever attempt, though.
I appreciate it. But that brings us to fact number 4.
So it does.
I know we've been joking that she might have been switched at birth, but if she wasn't switched there, she might have been switched when this doesn't really make sense, but she might have been switched at Disneyland.
She got switched at Disneyland?
Well, not really. I just really wanted to transition and to bring up the switch to birth thing again.
Yeah, right.
But she was mistaken for a lost child at Disneyland.
Oh, mistaken for a lost child? That's funny. Was she a lost child that just got mistaken for a different lost child? Because, like, you're both in the same boat, you know? Well, is this like when she was famous? Like, as a Disney person, she went to Disneyland and then got confused for a guest? Or what?
So, yeah, no, she was not a lost child.
No.
And she wasn't even a child. She was 19.
Oh, a found adult.
Yeah, from lost child to found adult. A real Cinderella story. Get it? Because Disney.
Yes.
So a Disney cast member saw her like standing alone waiting for her friends to return with food is what she was doing, but they just saw her standing alone, and due to her small height of like 4'11" and her youthful appearance at 19, she's always looked young, they thought she was a child who was alone, and she stood there long enough that they approached her and gently asked if she was okay and if she needed help finding her parents.
She looked just confused enough.
Yeah.
And she said no.
Well, actually, she played along at first.
What?
She pretended to be lost for a moment, answering questions in a childlike innocence, as she put it, and trying to like call back to her youthful days of like, what if she was a lost kid, like play make believe.
Trying to trick him.
Yeah, and then her friends came back and they laughed at it, and she now tells the story.
Dang.
In interviews.
Brutal.
I mean, to be fair, I might have the same reaction, though it's a little like if somebody approached me and was like, "Are you a lost child?" and I'm not, I might be like, "Oh yeah, totally."
For sure, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm so lost.
I don't know what world someone would mistake you for a lost child.
Lost in this life. Dude, I was a freshman in high school and people were asking me if I was excited to graduate. And I was like, yeah, in 4 years.
Eventually. Yeah, one of these days. Lost child. That's funny. A lot is suspicious about this as far as spins go.
Such as?
Disneyland is a suspicious place for her to get switched. I mean, she's a Disney kid.
Fair enough.
And I don't know, just her being short is obviously a key feature of this album and like her personality. Like, I don't know. It just seems like a thing.
Didn't even consider that.
You would have been like, oh man, she's so short and sweet. Like, maybe she pretended to be a lost child. Like, I don't know.
Yep, that's how I did this.
It
Totally.
could be. It could be.
It's not, but go ahead, lock in spin.
Okay, well, I think I might just have to do that. We'll see. I'm up 3 right now, so it's a win either way. This is just for the shutout, which I would love to have a shutout. It's been a long, long time.
Yep.
But yeah, I think this is a spin. As much as I'd love to believe it, there's too many coincidences lining up, and I don't feel settled about saying it's true.
Well, congrats on the shutout. This is a spin.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Thank you very much.
Wow.
How'd you come up with it then?
Didn't consider any of those coincidences.
What a coincidence.
Did not consider that at all. I was like, she's short. That's funny to be mistaken for a lost child because you're so short. And then I just kind of placed it at Disneyland because I was like, where would somebody make that mistake? And like at a crowded place with a lot of kids that get lost all the time.
Yeah.
Why not Disneyland?
Oh my goodness. Well, you gotta wake up pretty early to get one by me.
Yeah, I got Espresso no points on that round.
You did. This is, if I'm seeing correctly, the first host team shutout since Ray Stevens.
Wow.
This is the first host team shutout since episode 91.
Since Connor did it back on 91?
It's been 104 episodes. Wow.
How long since your last shutout?
Gosh, let me continue to scroll down. Well, it doesn't happen often. Oh. Well, the shutout before that on the host team appears to be Michael Bublé.
Okay, so keep going.
So that's still Connor. The Shins. Episode 41, The Shins, appears to be
Wow.
my most recent shutout against you.
Wow. That doesn't feel right, but I guess maybe it is.
I think so. There were times I've gotten close. I've had a lot of 3s, and obviously we've had too many 50-50s to count.
Yeah.
A lot of shutouts in the other direction. You really are winning in the shutout category. I'm looking here. Emmylou Harris, Coin, Kid Cudi, like shutout, shutout, shutout. Shoot, you had back-to-back shutouts to close out the other season.
Yep.
Vampire Weekend, shutout.
I've been on a tear lately. There was a while that the hosts were really making me sweat. I was really down. But here lately, I've been doing pretty well.
Yeah. Alan Jackson, AC/DC. Man, I can't believe it's been 150 episodes since I've had a perfect week.
Oh, man. Well, congrats on breaking the curse, apparently.
Sabrina Carpenter broke the curse. Wow.
Now you'll go on like a shutout tear, maybe.
That'd be awesome. Here's hoping.
Only time will tell.
Yes, it will.
Well, I may lie to you and Connor, my boys, but I would never lie to my girls.
You don't have to spin to girls. If they like you, they'll just spin to themselves.
Yeah. Trust me, I get the ladies. They always want to know the mixtaper behind the mask.
Oh, intriguing.
And by ladies, I mean the cute doggies at the animal shelter I volunteer at.
Oh, wow, that's so sweet.
Yeah. Well, goodbye.
Goodbye.
I thought I'd start doing that now. I think the Nyaz played out.
Oh, you're just going to say goodbye?
A simple goodbye.
Nah, it's not cool.
Goodbye. Let's try it out. Goodbye.
No, I don't like it.
Yeah!
Okay. Oh, man. Maybe he got mixed at birth.
Mixed at birth. How did we not make that joke earlier in this episode?
It just didn't occur to me. I don't know. I even said that you and the Mixtaper had been switched at birth maybe and didn't even think about mixed at birth.
Wow, mixed at birth.
Anyway, let's talk about this album art. I don't have much to say about it. It's Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, so your thoughts will be short and sweet?
My thoughts are short and sweet on the album cover, yeah. Sabrina Carpenter, kiss mark on her shoulder.
Very prominent. Like, someone was wearing so much lipstick.
Yeah.
To make a kiss mark like that.
A ton. And they just, like, mushed their mouth right onto her shoulder.
Yeah.
Do you think it was a real kiss or just drawn on?
Nah, it was probably makeup done. I don't think it was a real kiss.
But, like, it's so lip-shaped.
That's part of why I think it's fake.
Okay, well, that's a good point.
I like her earrings, though. Or at least earring. I guess I don't.
You don't know
confirm
about the
if
other one.
Ear has one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice little earring. Little bit of accessorizing. Well, fantastic.
Also, what's the background?
What, the blue? Like the ocean beach scene kind of thing?
Is that what that's supposed to be?
Well, yeah, I think there's sky and then...
Because I noticed it gets a darker blue. Yeah, at the end. And I just now kind of noticed that it's a darker shade of blue at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. I assume it's an ocean because why not?
Fair enough.
Yeah, there you have it. Short and sweet.
Time to get a taste of the album.
Taste of the album. Our first taste of the album is Taste, a single. And remember, we said Taste debuted at number 2 in the US and also on the Global 200. Taste made Sabrina the third ever artist and the first female to have Britain's number 1 album simultaneously with the top 3 singles, which is cool. Also, she and Ed Sheeran are the only 2 people to have the entire top 3 in the UK for 2 weeks in a row. So that's elite company. And she's not even British.
What a just F you of a song to this other girl.
Taste is a pretty intense album opener. Yeah.
It's pretty punk rock.
Yeah. Very Paramore.
It's like, get owned.
Yeah.
Random theoretical chick.
In theory, it's theoretical. It also could be about someone real.
Could be.
Because she's talking to this girl who's getting back with a boyfriend that Sabrina was with, right? And when you kiss him, if you'll taste me too.
Right, I'm just saying, I don't know if this is based on a real life relationship of hers and there's a real life girl this is clapping at, or if it's just a theoretical situation.
Well, it could be either. She says, I'll write any song. It doesn't mean I'll put it out, but I'll write it. I think the series of unfortunate events I've encountered in relationships are no secret to people who know me or think they know me. So it sounds like it's at least rooted in real life experience and her tumultuous past relationships. I think it's got a great chorus. I do like that rocky guitar in it. A lot of cool guitar parts. It's just such a hooky song.
It's very hooky.
Yeah, I love it. It's just such a striking opener. I mean, the lyrics don't pull any punches, and it catches your attention right away in every facet. Words, music, all of it. She said, Taste is one of my favorite songs off the album, and it says a lot about me and a lot about other people. I think it's sort of poking fun of myself a little bit for my mistakes, and also poking fun at the kind of facepalm that is life and relationship and the situations that it puts you in. And it's just making lighthearted fun at the whole concept of people you've been with moving on to other people. It's a very human thing, but it's certainly fun. I think it's a cool way to flip the trope on its head. I mean, you talk about people you've been with moving on with other people. A lot of people would write the sad version of that song. Oh, it's so hard to see you with someone else. I mean, how many times have we seen that song trope in all these 190 some episodes. I like that this song kind of takes the opposite stance and says, bye. Like, I don't want him anymore.
Yeah.
Just know that I'm still on his mind. You know, I'm still around.
Yeah. He's all yours, but I was there first.
Exactly. Yeah. It's also the song that opens her set on the Short and Sweet tour. Pretty cool. That guitar vamp at the beginning is perfect for, you know, the intro bit that she does. And also the music video has picked up quite a bit of traction. Have you seen the Taste music video?
I don't know, have I?
I'm going to go ahead and say no, if you're asking. It stars Sabrina and Jenna Ortega and Rowan Campbell.
Oh, then yes, I've seen that one.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, great. I figured you'd like it because it references a lot of like horror movie tropes and then deliberately alludes to stuff like Psycho and Kill Bill and Scream and tons of others.
It also got a little controversial, didn't it?
A smidge.
Just a smidge. Not like maybe controversial, but...
Just a taste of controversy.
Yeah. I don't know if controversy is the right word, but it got some, like, attention for some decisions made.
Yeah.
Don't want to spoil anything for anybody who hasn't gotten their taste yet.
Yeah. I think Taste is a great track. It's so short. 2.5 minutes. I mean, that's, again, short and sweet, the album. A lot of these songs are really sweet sounding, really short. Not a one of them dips into 4 minutes. That's wild. Like, not a lot of albums like that exist anymore.
I think that's part of what I like about it, too, is that every song comes in, does what it wants to do, and then gets out.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot of dilly-dallying.
Yeah, we don't got time to dilly-dally in this day and age, all right?
No, we've got 36 minutes and 15 seconds. We need the whole album.
Exactly.
Well, Taste is a pretty suggestive song. Please, Please, Please is the first song we run into with an explicit tag tacked onto it. And it's a very well done expletive, I gotta say. Please, 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 first of all, before we get into all that, second single, topped the Billboard 100, very first #1 single in the US, and it cracked the top 10 in 18 countries worldwide. So close to Song of the Year, but it did not make it. Please, 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 it's so funny. It's her singing to this boy who's an idiot, who's a jerk, who doesn't have a lot going on. And her friends keep trying to tell her that. She keeps defending herself because she's just here for a good time and she knows that he kind of sucks, but she keeps defending him. She says, please, don't prove him right. Please, don't be stupid. Please, like, I'm going to keep you inside. You can stare at the ceiling fan while I go have fun because I don't want to be seen with you in public. Like, it's brutal also in a very different way than Taste is.
Sure.
What did you think about it? What do you think of the chorus? What do you think about the big mother effer in the middle? Set to such a cool melody.
It's a very cool melody. I quite like it.
Yeah, me too.
I like how it kind of transitions from the fast-paced lyrics, the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, into the more flowing, please, 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 don't bring me the tears. It all of a sudden starts like kind of just riding like a wave almost in that part.
Yeah. There's a good build. Yeah, a lot of the verse is just drums, and they do a good, like, wash to get into the chorus.
In my head, you know what it kind of is? I don't know why this is. Get ready for another weird Connor imagery moment.
Love it.
The faster-paced lyrics of the verses make me think she's, like, running up the steps for one of those giant slides that, like, fairs have. And then the chorus is her, like, sliding, because you know how the slide's always wavy?
Uh-huh.
You kind of slide down it slower than you think you would, but then you hit those, like, little waves where you get a little boost of speed as you go down it.
You can catch air, yeah.
So that's, like, in my head what's happening, is she's, like, running up the steps, and then wavy sliding down it and then getting up and running back up the steps again and going again. I don't know why, but that's where my brain went.
Nice. Sabrina calls Please, Please, Please the song I dreamt about writing my whole life. And I think that's funny. Such a clever song. It's pretty good.
I've seen this music video too.
This music video, yeah, this one is another interesting one. It portrays a romance with a criminal played by her now ex-boyfriend. But I think at the time, he was still a current, maybe even future.
Yeah, Barry Keoghan.
I don't know how to pronounce his name, yeah, so I just left it out of my notes. But him.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's Barry Keoghan is how it's pronounced.
We may never know. I don't trust your pronunciations for, like, most normal English words, so.
Yeah, but I think I got that one right.
Please, 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 prove him right.
But yeah, I don't know if it was current or future at the time, but they did date.
They did. And so he's a criminal, right?
Oh, criminal? X-Ray Dad probably didn't approve of that.
No, but Chef Dad maybe did.
Oh, maybe.
She said, I ended the last video getting arrested, so naturally I thought it would be satisfying to start the Please, Please, Please video in jail. I like the idea of falling in love with a convict and being shocked and embarrassed every time he commits crimes. That's pretty much what the song is like. And there's a second music video for the Dolly Parton version. Not often that we talk about songs with 2 music videos, but here you go. Please, Please, Please is funny because it's like a sad-ish song about this. It's like she's embarrassed about this guy. And then we move into Good Graces, and that bite is right back in the lyrics. It's the same scenario. This guy's gonna be stupid and she knows it. So she's telling him, you better straighten up and act right because you gotta stay in my good graces. I'll drop you like nobody's business. If you start acting suspect, you're done. So Good Graces, like it's a very easy thematic transition from Please, Please, Please into Good Graces. I like that a lot. And what a poppy groove. Good Graces, the verses don't necessarily do a ton for me, but the chorus really does. And the pre-chorus, honestly.
The chorus. I don't think it's as good as Please, Please, Please or Taste, in my opinion.
No.
But it's pretty good.
Yeah, good enough to land at number 15 in the US and 16 in Canada.
And actually, now that I think about it, I don't know if I mentioned this one when we were talking about the ones I'd heard, but I know that chorus.
Oh, that's wild.
I didn't really recognize the song, but I recognized the chorus part.
Interesting. I think there's a lot of good instrumental stuff going on in the background of Good Graces. I like that. But yeah, for the most part, it is a really good, strong song on this album, but it is on a lesser tier, I think, than the first 2 tracks. So far, I think the album's been pretty consistent in its style and its attitude and its sound. Sharpest Tool is a real deviation from that, though. Sharpest Tool is a real hiccup in the flow for me. Not necessarily in a bad way, but it definitely has a little more of a pluckiness to it, a little bit more of a broken up kind of nature. It's different. It's another one where the verse is really underperforming.
The beginning of Sharpest Tool is interesting.
Yeah, it is.
It starts immediately off with the, I know you're not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Another dumb guy.
So it's like, well, what are you doing hooking up with idiots? Come on.
It's a constant theme on this album. So many of these songs are just about how dumb the guys that she dates are. It's true. She just keeps getting with bad guys. The verse is really rough for me on Sharpest Tool. The chorus is fine. It's much better when it picks up. We were going right, then you took a left, I think is really when it clicks for me. That first part is a little rough.
Oh, okay.
Sabrina said Sharpest Tool was a really interesting corner of the album that I didn't find until later. And I think that's what's so special about it, is it doesn't sound like any of the other songs on the record, but it just fits in so perfectly. She says, it's probably for me, weirdly enough, the song that makes me the most emotional on the album. I think it's because there's nostalgia to it. There's kind of that feeling of memories, tainted memories, permeating throughout the record as well. And she said she's really proud of Sharpest Tool. It surprises me to hear that this is the most emotional song for her.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think it's good that it's emotional to her, but I don't think that emotion comes across to me as the listener. And that's fine. So Sharpest Tool ends, and then we get into Coincidence. I love the guitar on Coincidence really gets me going every time. Such a good change. I mean, even from Sharpest Tool, which doesn't sound like anything, Coincidence still manages to sound not quite like anything because it's way more acoustic guitar driven instead of anything else, but it still brings the energy of the first 3 tracks that we lost on Sharpest Tool. And it's a much needed pick me up for this middle part of the album. Coincidence, another stupid guy, right? She's with this guy, but he's giving off weird vibes, putting his phone face down. He's got an ex in the same city on the same night, and he is losing his common sense, telling 97% of the truth. He's being a dummy.
Very coincidental.
Very coincidental. I mean, what are the odds that he's having all this going on, you know? What are the odds? She's sending you some pictures wearing less and less, trying to turn the past into the present tense. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
There's some good lyrics on this album.
Pretty good.
I also love the chorus parts on this, where all the voices come in. What a coincidence. Na 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 na. Like, it's such a smart decision, production-wise, to include a whole choir of voices on that.
Yep.
Your car drove itself from LA to her thighs. Good grief. I think it's a pretty fun song. Not bad. Then we get into another crazy song. This one's not about a stupid guy. This one's about a very different kind of guy. It's called Bed Chem. Short, as some lyric analysis websites feel the need to point out if you didn't figure it out, short for bedroom chemistry.
Wait, it's chemistry?
Chemistry.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's not bedazzled chemotherapy.
Chemotherapy.
But with X-Ray Dad, you never can tell. Crazy song.
I feel like I've heard the line, who's the cute boy with the white jacket and the thick accent on like TikTok videos.
Totally. Yeah, definitely getting out there. What a song. What a lyrical song. Like, there's a lot of fun, suggestive wordplay. I don't know. A lot of infectious melody. The production, that throwback R&B vibe is really awesome. Like, this has to have been a ton of fun to make. I can't think of a song on this album that would be more fun to make than Bed Chem. It is so catchy. It is such an earworm of a song. It is, for me, the first time through, standout track. Like, just her sense of humor is very apparent. Her brand is very apparent in Bed Chem. And that production, oh, it just sounds so good. Some critics have compared it to parts of Dua Lipa's Future Nostalgia.
Oh, wow.
Way back, episode 5, if you can remember. It was the 4th single, peaked at number 14 in the US, in the top 10 in 6 territories.
Bed Chem, for me, wasn't really my favorite.
Really?
I don't care for the higher register she goes into for this song.
That's fair. I kind of like it. I kind of like the way that it's layered with a lower register vocal. Like that doubling of it is really nice.
I don't know. They didn't do it for me. That's not my, let Sabrina Chef have the higher register. Sabrina Carpenter is a lower register singer for me.
Sure.
But I did like, the lyrics on this album have been pretty spicy.
Yeah. And no spicier anywhere than on Bed Chem.
Yeah, and I'm here for it.
It doesn't get more direct than somewhere in that second verse.
Yeah, the second verse is woo, woo, woo. Somebody get me a glass of milk. Spicy in here.
Yeah, really.
You know me, I love my milks. Bring me something weirdly flavored.
Mm-hmm. She said there was a lot of steam in the studio.
I bet.
And I hope that's not true. I hope it's not true in the Prince sense anyway, because we all know what happened after the steam in the studio.
Yeah, that was fog or smoke, please.
Smoke, whatever.
I was more worried if it really was steamy, like all the electronics.
That's true. That's true. She said, I went to the studio that day and was like, I have this title and idea, and we have to make it sexy and a little bit unserious because it is such a ridiculous concept. Ridiculous concept it is. Sexy and unserious it is. Mission accomplished. But then we get to the big one, the moment you've all been waiting for.
The White Whale.
That's right. Espresso. Man, mega hit, song of the summer, lead single. Her first top 10 single. It did top the charts in 20 countries. It was in the top 10 in 20 more countries. Wild. Critics have already pointed to Espresso as one of the best songs of the entire decade so far. We'll see if that holds up.
I mean, it's a good song.
It's a good song. Something about it. It's just, there's no sharp edges.
The amount of ways she finds to rhyme with espresso.
I know. It's a little bit of a stretch. Even the concept itself, that me espresso, is like, what? But you just gotta suspend your disbelief.
Not just that me espresso. That me espresso.
That's me espresso. Yup.
Move it up, down, left, right. Oh, switch it up like Nintendo.
I know. It's just a hodgepodge of rhymes and lyrics.
I love it. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Cracks me up.
She said she wrote the whole song very quickly, just kind of took a silly idea and ran with it.
And it just gave it, for such a silly song, such a grooving beat.
Yes.
And that like synth or whatever it is.
Yeah. And such a clean guitar behind it.
I know I Mountain Dew it for you is another line I love.
Ridiculous. Like Tyler, the Creator, and his not real Mountain Dew flavor.
Which also, hang on. So you got in here, walked in and dream came trued it for you. Saw skin and I perfumed it for you.
A real word.
I know I Mountain Dew it for you.
Pun.
That morning coffee brewed it for you.
That makes sense with espresso.
One touch and I brand newed it for you.
That's a pun. That's a double entendre.
I love it. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's wild. She said the song is about seeing femininity as your superpower and embracing the confidence of being that B word. That's cool. And another big music video, right? This one that you saw, I think. Did you say you saw the Espresso music video?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, big beach vibes. She said, since the day I heard the song, I saw a beach atmosphere.
Yeah, well, good for her. That's not what I saw, but...
Well...
The whole song's about, like, this guy not being able to sleep because he's thinking about her. She's his espresso, keeping him up at night, or whatever, waking him up, right? Yeah. And it's just like, what's that have to do with the beach? That's not at all what I thought, but okay.
No, it's just the sound of it. But she also said it was this old school and modern environment. And also she said, I just wanted a pool car, to be frank. So I think she built the music video around wanting a pool car.
Fair enough. Hey, you know what? That's an excuse I can get behind. I can get behind that logic.
Mm-hmm. I want a pool car too. Maybe we have to write a #1 hit song to do it, but I want one. Plus, Espresso is featured in the game Fortnite as an emote, which is wild.
I mean, what isn't featured in Fortnite nowadays?
That's true. It also helped her earn sponsor deals with Absolute Vodka and Dunkin' Donuts to make her own espresso drink and an espresso martini. So look at her go. That's that Sabrina Carpenter espresso.
Yeah, the Mixtaper was going to bring that when he didn't see it in the rundown, but he figured it was in your notes.
Yeah, well, I'm glad he found what he did find instead, because I got it all right.
Yeah, congrats. I didn't congratulate you on the host win. Finally pulling your weight.
Long overdue. Yeah,
I've been carrying it for the host.
I didn't even realize. I just go week to week. You know, it all goes into the filing cabinet shredder when it's done.
Yeah, well, of course. As most files should go.
Of course. Well, up next, guess what? Another dumb guy song. Dumb and Poetic. She's just talking about a guy who thinks he's all that because he is, you know, an intellectual type, poetic. But he's also just dumb. He just is missing the point. It doesn't make him any more of a man because he's, you know, pretentious in the way that he is.
I mean, she acknowledges that she falls for the dumb.
There's not too much happening in it, but it's all right. What do you think about Dumb and Poetic? Is there much here for you? I think it's a filler kind of song for me.
I feel like it's a filler mainly because it's been done already.
Yeah, that's true.
On this album, I mean, we've had Sharpest Tool, which was kind of about being dumb. We've had the tastes and the espressos that are like, oh, you'll never get over me. Everything this song has already been in the
previous songs.
Yeah, it's kind of just here. Like, you could argue espresso and taste are similar, but in terms of like their content.
Well, you taste espresso.
Yeah, true. The difference is like it does it in a fun, new, unique way, whereas Dumb and Poetic isn't that fun, new, or unique in my opinion.
No, I'd agree with that.
And it's sad because it's kind of like a ballad, and I'm usually the ballad guy, but
not Dumb and Poetic.
Yeah.
It is also so short, you hardly even get a chance to get a taste of it.
I like my ballads to be smart.
That's fair. Yeah, smart and buffoonish.
Fair enough.
But you know what, too? We get another dumb guy song back to back in Slim Pickins, and this is just about how all guys are dumb.
Yeah, well, I mean, we are.
Well, that's true. Slim Pickins is kind of a fun little country-fied song, a change of pace.
I meant to ask, was Dumb and Poetic explicit?
Yes.
Was it marked explicit? I thought so. And Slim Pickins, I assume, also is.
No.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just keep on moaning and...
Yeah, that one gets past the filter. It's no F-bomb.
Interesting. Fascinating.
I know. Who knows anymore? But Slim Pickins...
Yeah, Slim Pickins also gets into that upper register I didn't care for, so... It was actually better here, in my opinion, than it was previously.
Wow, on Bedchem?
Yeah.
I think Slim Pickins is... The higher register doesn't bother me, but just the general country vibes of it, like, it sticks out in a bit of a distracting way for me.
Yeah.
Lyrically, I get it. It's cool. It's a pun. Slim Pickins, well, you gotta pick in like a banjo, chicken pickin'. It's gotta be there. Like, it's gotta be in this style.
Yeah.
I don't know. No way it could have been a standalone single some other time. Like, it had to be on the album as an album track.
I do think it's a nice change of pace in slot number 9. I think that's appropriate to put it here.
Yeah.
And it gives us a little something fresh before we head into the closing run of the album.
That's true. I do have a fact about Slim Pickins that you are not going to believe.
Okay. Let me be prepared to be disbelieved.
Okay. Francisco Ojeda plays the double bass on Slim Pickins. I'm pretty sure that's the same Frank Ojeda that played bass for The Strike.
Whoa.
What a small world. When we talked about The Strike on episode 140-something, I think the Mixtaper told a lie about Frank Ojeda having a special wooden comb from his barber grandfather. But when I saw the name Francisco Ojeda, I was like, wait, that's got to be the same bass player. How many Francisco Ojeda bass players are there?
That's awesome.
So this song has ties to The Strike.
Love The Strike.
Uh-huh. Slim Pickins out there.
Yeah, in the bass Frank Ojeda world. So there's only so many bass playing Frank Ojedas.
And we found him.
Got Slim Pickins.
This last stretch of the album, it's not too bad. This last quarter here, we open with Juno. Wow.
Wow, look at you getting the math right for once.
I know, it's rare. It's not even... I've already messed up the math one or two other times in this episode, so I'm just doing what I can. Juno is a little bit of Slim Pickins Whiplash. It's like a little disco-inspired. It went to number 22 on the Hot 100, and I love Juno. It's so fun. It references the 2007 film Juno about teen pregnancy. Have you seen Juno 2007?
Yeah. Have you?
No, of course not.
Oh, it was very popular. I can't believe you didn't watch it.
I know. Well, have you met me?
So, this movie came out when we were like in our childhood, yeah, I'd be like, no shot. But into adulthood, you have made a point of trying to see noteworthy films
Yeah.
when they come out.
Some of them.
There's usually only 1 to 2 noteworthy ones a year, if that.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are years I go, there was nothing this year that was really noteworthy, but...
Yeah. Well, anyway, it does reference the film about teen pregnancy. She says, I might let you make me Juno. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's a crazy lyric.
And you know what else is crazy?
What?
Sabrina Carpenter's nonsense Christmas special. Come on down.
You don't want to miss it.
You gotta be there. It's gonna be.
Man, that got me really good.
Just the way you said it made me think of that.
That's great. Wow. She says, the day I wrote Juno, it kind of came from a joke. The night before I was writing a joke song with a couple friends, and I ad-libbed the line, make you wanna make me Juno. Because I was like, I just watched Juno. It's a funny way to be like, knock me up, please.
Yeah.
So then the idea for Juno came to life, and I've been performing it on tour, and it's been very fun. It actually did get really famous from her tour, because she chooses a different Juno position at every show. People go crazy for it. But what do you think of the song? I think the production on it is really tight. I think Juno's a really well-made song.
I like that. Yeah, the guitar on this one.
Yeah, excellent. And the way that the verse kind of fills itself out with this one little piano chord over top of really good drums, really crisp drums. I love it. And just generally the concept, you make me want to make you fall in love. Not bad. But another series of really crazy lyrics on this one too. But yeah, that's Juno. What did you think about Lie to Girls?
Oh, I love doing that.
Oh.
Wait, what?
What? No. The song itself is okay, but I mostly love the concept of Lie to Girls. You don't have to lie to girls. If they like you, they'll lie to themselves. It's a very honest reflection of just assessing the situation and the lengths you'll go to. There's not an ugly truth that I can't bend. That's pretty cool. I like that concept a lot. It's a gentle song. It's a soft song. I almost wish it was just the end of the album and we kind of cut Don't Smile.
Yeah, I think this is my favorite ballad.
Definitely strong contender. That could be mine too.
I do like the messaging here of like, you don't have to lie to girls. They'll just lie to themselves.
Right.
They'll lie to themselves and ignore your problems and red flags if they like you.
Clearly, I mean, that's what a big theme of this whole album has been, ignoring red flags or being exasperated by red flags, but trying to persist in the relationship anyway, or realizing you've made mistakes. Like, yeah, I think Lie to Girls is a good encapsulation of a lot of what this whole album's been about. And then we do close it with Don't Smile. I like Don't Smile. It feels a little less clever than the rest of the album. It feels a little more basic. It feels a little slower and less memorable. It just basically, it turns the popular phrase, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. It just turns that on its head. Don't smile because it happened, cry because it's over. And it's also less personal, too. She said, it's funny, I usually write from firsthand experiences, except for this song. And although it happened to me in many different ways, the seed of the idea originally came from my friend that was experiencing heartbreak in that moment and in a very visceral situation. She said the title is on every Pinterest board, on every sewn pillow, but the opposite. She said she saw it and she was like, F that. So she changed it around into Don't Smile because it happened. Let yourself be sad. And I can get behind that sentiment, feel your feelings and stuff. But just as a song here on this 12th position at the end of the album, it feels like we're drifting out of the end of the album too much. The album's been very punchy and very deliberate. Don't Smile feels like it meanders its way out, and I don't like that closing.
Yeah, I feel like we could have ended a little better.
Totally. But it is what it is.
I don't know what I would want to end on, because I like the positioning of most tracks.
Lie to Girls.
Oh, you're just saying just don't even have Don't Smile at all.
Yeah, I just cut it, probably.
Fair enough.
But it's time for Final Spin. For me, this album is short, this album is sweet. It's intense, it's lyrical, it's funny. I like a lot of the musical hooks and stuff. I like the production tricks. I like the melodies in a lot of spots. I gave music a 90 on Short and Sweet. I think that is almost its strongest quality. Lyrics, I'm giving an 83. There's a lot of clever wordplay and stuff in here. A lot of fun double entendre. And also, though, some of them are really blunt. Some of them are really interesting. Espresso with its chaotic rhymes is fun. There's a lot of spots here where the lyrics are really interesting. I'm giving lyrics an 83. Instruments and production, that's the score I gave the strongest, 92. I think a lot of these songs sound unique. There are some spots where it hiccups, right? Slim Pickins and Sharpest Tool, particularly, and Don't Smile, stick out as like lesser production moments. They kind of feel off a little bit. But for the most part, this genre blend of styles, this country and R&B and disco and pop infused record really does the trick for me. I think it's really clean, really well executed. As for the overall vibe, short length, typical top 40 pop, teenage girl, well, girl in her 20s stuff, I'm giving the vibe a 90. So its overall score for Short and Sweet, 89.1. That lands it at number 145, below the band Cameo, and above the Japanese House. That's where I'm putting it. 145. Top 150 for me. How about you?
For me, I also really enjoy this album.
I honestly figured you would.
Yeah, I figured I would too, having heard several of the tracks from the album already. It's interesting. Do we want to talk about whether or not I felt this should have won?
Oh yeah, tell me, compare it to Cowboy Carter. What do you think?
So I kind of came into this expecting to feel this should have won over Cowboy Carter. Just because of how much I knew I was going to like it. And I do like it more than Cowboy Carter.
Yeah.
It's going to score higher than Cowboy Carter in my rankings. But I think Cowboy Carter deserved the Grammy win over this, despite that.
I think I'd agree. I think Cowboy Carter, did such a lot of cool genre work. It was a really interesting conceptual album in a way that, honestly, not a lot else in this Grammy class could touch.
Yeah, I think the reason I like this album more is because the individual songs I tend to like more.
Yeah.
But I think as an album, Cowboy Carter's the better album, technically.
Totally.
So the fact that this is getting a higher 8 out of 10 than Cowboy Carter.
Ooh.
Despite that, Cowboy Carter is still, I think, the rightful Grammy winner of the ones we've covered so far.
Totally. 8 what's, though? Beyonce got 8 lasagna westerns.
Yeah, and I think Sabrina Carter's going to get 8 X-Ray Dads out of 10.
X-Ray Chef Dads or just X-Ray Dads?
I can't decide. He's currently an X-Ray Dad, but we first got looking at him because he was a chef dad.
Yeah, we might never have looked into him if he was just an X-Ray Dad. We'd see right through him. I've already made that joke, but it's still funny.
Yeah, so, X-Ray Chef Dads. We can go X-Ray Chef Dads. I'm okay with it. That makes it even weirder.
It just feels more complete.
Sure, X-Ray Chef Dads.
Well, where in your 8s is she going? Beyonce went right at the bottom, so...
She did. And Sabrina, not going to be right at the bottom. Going to be kind of middle of the pack-ish. She's going to go right... Boy, this is a tough one. Then we do a quick Spotify check. Man. Okay, I'll put it above. I'm going to put it right above Golden Hour by Casey Musgraves.
Wow. Okay.
Had to go do a quick song check for Casey Musgraves.
Yeah, that's a pretty strong 8.
Since, that was episode 2.
2. It's been a long time. That's exciting. Wonderful. What about playlist picks in top 3?
My top 3 in album order. Taste.
Delicious.
Please, please, please.
Delicious.
What?
That's another good song.
Honorable mention. Good Graces.
Oh, wow. Okay. 3 from the first 3.
Uh-huh. And then, of course, Espresso.
Wow, that's not what my picks would have been exactly. Not far off.
You're taking at least 3 of those 4, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think Good Graces is the one you wouldn't maybe pick, but I liked it.
That's correct, and I'd swap it for Juno probably.
I thought about it.
And Bedchem is in my running. I'm not surprised it's not in yours.
I didn't care for Bedchem. I thought about Juno, but I just really like the hook of Good Graces.
Yeah. Well, which one of those ones is your playlist pick?
Do we want to declare Espresso has to be there and then do the other one by committee, or do you want me to pick something and then you to pick something?
I would pick Juno.
Really?
If I assume you're picking Espresso.
Yeah, but you offered me the choice first, so if I don't take Espresso, that forces you.
It could.
Or you could just ignore Espresso. I just really like taste is the problem. Like, if I had my way, it'd be taste and Espresso.
You would taste Espresso?
Yeah, I really like taste.
But you really like Espresso more, right?
I don't know. Espresso is the super popular, summer pick that was everywhere.
That's true.
And so I almost kind of feel a little burned out on it. And it's a sillier song. I think Taste is more clever.
That's true.
And is equally as catchy. It just didn't quite get as popular.
I'm fine with leaving Espresso out. We could take Taste and Juno.
Okay. Let's do Taste and Juno.
Nice. Good pair. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Spin It. Probably not very short, but pretty sweet. So, yeah. We will see you next week for another episode of Spin It, where we'll rank another album. For more info, you can find us on social media at Spin It Pod, on X, at Spin It Pod Official on Instagram, and on the web, www.spinitpod.com. It'll be a good time.
It's a great time.
Darn right.
It's definitely no Slim Pickins when it comes to our episodes.
Spin Pickins, maybe. We will see you next week, and until then, You know.
Whoa. Also, hey, as usual, we want you to spread the word about the podcast. Mm-hmm. I've put a lot of thought into who you should tell this week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Tell the Sharpest Tool. Who are you going to tell?
I think you should tell someone that should come on down to the Sabrina Carpenter
Clever advertising.
to the Sabrina Carpenter Christmas special. You don't want to miss it. They don't want to miss it. Bring them on down to the Spin It Podcast Sabrina Carpenter episode.
Yeah, you got to sneak it in. Sneak in that intrusive advertising. Great. Well, we'll see you next week, and maybe you'll watch the Sabrina Carpenter Nonsense Christmas special. Maybe you won't. But what you should do is...
Keep spinning!
Hey, you and me, I think we have really good pod-chem.
I hate it.
I know.
Wait, you think we have really good podcast chemotherapy?
No. Podcast chemistry.
Oh, that's right. It's chemistry. I forgot that.
Yeah. Well, neither of us have an X-ray dad, so...
We should start a new podcast.
Should we?
Yeah, where we review, like, it should be like a woodworking podcast. That way we can do...
Oh, we can talk about Sabrina's chef.
Yeah.
We can do our music episode on Sabrina Carpenter and our carpentry episode on Sabrina chef. Whatever. But hey, we'll never know where they switched to birth or not. Who's to say?
Who's to say? Not us.
No, definitely not.
Woo!